Congratulations to Jasprit Charte there for winning the Nakuru leg of the Safari Rally, and that victory pretty much will be part of our discussion today as to exactly what is happening with the Safari Rally in Kenya. It took place over the weekend pretty much to less fanfare like we used to know, especially in the 80s through to the 90s. And in the studio to discuss and help us understand all this, I brought to you Dennis Mabuka at my extreme left, the editor of Goal.com Kenya, and in the middle we have Shedrack Odinga Andenga, sports analyst, and he's always with us here, resident analyst.
Thank you.
Guys, welcome to our studio.
Thank you.
How was your weekend? If I may start with you,
was a little bit fabulous, I would say.
Sporty.
Full of action, sporty. We had the Germans yesterday, a little bit scary for the Ukrainians, but I think it was quite an eventful weekend.
How was your weekend?
Mine was fine, Toskin. Thanks a lot for inviting me to the studio. It was quite a good weekend, though my team is out from Copa Brazil.
Brazil, they have actually lost early this morning.
Which is very unfortunate.
You've been following Brazil closely?
Yes, I do. It's
was
the team
that
I usually
support.
support.
Out of Copa?
Yeah.
Did you expect them to be bundled at this?
No. I was expecting them to go all the way, but I even followed the game in the morning when I woke up and was shocked to find that they're out of the tournament. So
did you bet on it?
Yeah, no, I did not bet. I don't bet.
Is it that Dunga's selection policy is wrong?
I think he had issues with selecting the team because he left a few players who performed well for their various clubs out, and it was not the squad that everybody expected. And I'm seeing a situation where maybe he might not last and he might lose his job because in Brazil you have to perform. If you don't, so
Neymar was left out basically because he wants to go for the Olympics in which they are hosting. Do you think he should have insisted that Neymar be in that team?
I think I'll go with Dunga. I do accept my fellow journalist Mabuka. With Dunga, there's something different about him with what Scolari's 2002 winning squad. Scolari had this very authoritative voice on the team in 2002 when he won the World Cup. At that particular time, he had star players like Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho are coming up. So I think what Dunga kind of lacks is that authoritative voice in the team. And also a part of his selection process wasn't all wrong. Because I would say if I was Dunga, I would leave out Neymar, despite him being a star at clubs like Barcelona, but you can pick out players that are playing in the Brazilian league that are so good, players like Elano that are doing so well, players at Corinthians and Flamengo and Vasco da Gama, and you can still use the same players to win a Copa America. Though it's a very, very tough tournament and very unpredictable.
Let's move to Euro, guys. You must have watched right from the day one, France beating Romania. Which game stood out for you, Dennis?
I think France, that screamer from Payet. That was a wonderful goal, and also disappointing for England again. They never do well in
the first games.
In their first games, and conceding at the last minute was not good for them. So the two matches were good, and also looking ahead, Germany yesterday they did wonders. That was a good performance from Germany.
They started on a shaky footing, but then they recovered to beat Ukraine.
I think it's strategy. It shows you how good Joachim Low is such a coach. Because Fomenko yesterday was using the tactics that I watched Mourinho use at Inter Milan. Mourinho would wait for you to come up with your formation so that he could come up with his formation. He doesn't outrightly come up with formation. But that particular time at Inter Milan, he succeeded. And the Germans yesterday, they were playing a 4-2-3-1 formation, and that's what exactly Fomenko used. So in the first half, the Germans had a lot of problems, even after scoring that goal.
Yeah, they were frustrated.
Yeah, they were really, really frustrated, and at that point I thought, like, wow, the Ukrainians were coming in the game.
Actually, the goalkeeper Manuel Neuer,
he really was
top saves.
He made two
two
wonderful
brilliant
saves.
Yeah, I think-
one-on-one
which
situations.
was
Yeah, but I think what really worked for him in the second half, he realized it, and then he had to withdraw Mario Götze from the striking role because he was a cheating striker. So when he brought in Andre Schürrle, so he had packed his midfield with 5 midfielders. But remember, Thomas Müller is not a midfielder.
Sure,
He's not an attacking midfielder. He's an outright
Yeah,
striker. So he had to bring in Mario Götze to his original position. And when Bastian Schweinsteiger came in, I think that really worked out.
Yeah, that
for
is
him
when
and
the game
Barry.
changed.
Yeah, but one thing that you have to realize about them, he believed in the possession game. He kept the ball for so long, and that kind of frustrated the Ukrainians. Now they could not go forward. So that really worked out for him, and he won the game.
That cross by Mesut Ozil, I think, really killed it all.
Yeah, he's such a good passer.
And then the finish
Another
by
assist,
Bastian
another assist, you
Schweinsteiger.
know.
What does that tell you about Ozil? What kind of a player is he?
He's quite an experienced and
This violence between the Russians and England. What beef do these guys have?
I think it's the power of democracy, the freedom to express yourself. Yeah, because I mean, I like it because they get on each other. It's not like here someone will stone you and burn your house and burn your car. If you think you can fight me, face me. We call it Omundo Humundu. It's the passion of the game, but also it underlines the security.
When this bloodbath, would you call that passion really?
I don't think it's passion, but what I think in terms of what is happening now, in terms of the fights in Euro, it's about it's something that has been there before.
Yeah.
It's historical. So these guys are doing it. You know, it's something that it's the same way we always believe in Kenya when AFC Leopards is playing against Gor Mahia. We must have a tear gas. You know, they always say Gor Mahia versus AFC Leopards minus tear gas is not football. So I believe what those guys are doing is they are trying to rekindle their past tournaments, and but it's not coming down.
Could there be political undertones? Because if you look at what is happening between the English press and the Russians, the English press has always accused Russia of winning the hosting rights of World Cup 2018 unfairly.
Yeah, through the back.
They say they were bribery. They claim some bribery allegations there and all that. And we all know what has happened. 2 of Russia's spies have been killed in London, or they have died in London under unclear circumstances. Could that be playing?
Yeah.
I think it could also play, and I agree with Mabuka, because most of these things are historic. I remember when Argentinian had Diego Maradona as their captain, and he scored the famous hand of God.
Yes.
The English people, they outrightly up to now, they hate Argentinians, but the Argentinians on the other hand, they say the two historically had a war. I think in the 50s
the
or something.
Falklands.
Yeah, they had a war, and they always believed that whenever the Argentinians play against the English people, they have to not only beat them, but also to teach them the game of football. And there were also the fans there will riot for some reason because of that kind of historical tags. So I think for them, it's something that runs deeper. I remember back in the days when I used to go to the stadium, and there was a team from Kisii known as Shabana. Whenever Shabana will meet FC Leopards, the Luhia people believe they had to punch a Kisii person. So I think it's something historical.
It's historical.
It is historical. So for some of them, they take it as a...
Football should
the
change
problem
that.
is now
Football
it's
is a
not
global language, and it should change that.
And that's why I said it underlines the security of the organizers. How well are they organized in terms of security? We can, I remember at one time in... I think it was in Germany, the World Cup that was in Germany.
2006,
Exactly. It was so good that they will capture you.
Yes.
They will capture you even maybe insulting me. And you could be arraigned in court because you insulted me. Maybe you insulted me racially, or you called me something that is not good. They will catch you on camera and take you to court for that. So I think the French maybe might have done better in terms of security.
Yeah, with that stern warning from UEFA threatening to throw out England and also Russia, should there be further violence from both sets of fans. But remember, UEFA has opened proceedings against the Russian FA, and they could take action, but they have not done so against the English. So we really don't know what is going to happen after today. But then, gentlemen, let's move on to rally. We saw earlier that Jasprit Chate won the Nakuru rally, the Safari rally.
Yeah.
Nakuru leg.
well.
Many people did not.
No, disappointed that I didn't even know there was. I didn't even know there was rally going on. And
What's up?
I mean,
It's something that I think something needs to be done to so that we have rally back to where it used to be. Those days when we had rally drivers like Patrick Njiru, the day we could follow the cars, we could wake up early in the morning
And
to follow the cars all the
listen
way
it
to
on
Kisumu
radio.
to where. But there's something missing.
No, is it that you people in the media, you are the media, you're supposed to highlight all this, and is it that you are not doing what needs to be done to highlight, to make sure you bring back the kind of color?
I think the media has a role, but I also agree. The only way I knew there's a rally, the 64th edition of KCB Safari Rally, is because I'm a journalist and I was sent a press invite and I had to attend the press invite, and then they will send you press releases, and that's how you know it. But again, I do agree with Mabuto to a certain extent that what is the government doing towards this? We have a minister of sports, and I normally tell you that that guy is not doing a good job. And you kind of look at me with a funny face when I tell you that, Toski. But in reality, Hassan Wario is not doing a good job. Because you're supposed to go back to those days. Because there's nothing new. I remember John Mishuki when he took over the Ministry of Transport. There's nothing new that he's brought. He just went back to those laws that were there.
I saw the minister, I saw the cabinet secretary when he was flagging off the Safari Rally.
But flagging off, you're not doing it. You're not supposed to flag off. That is not your job. You're supposed to put up structures, Robin Toski. You're supposed to talk to the people that were there. Call Patrick Njiru. He's not dead. He's still around. Ask him what happened during the time. Because back in those days, even the media had a role. Safari Rally.
But then we have the Kenya Motorsport Foundation.
Exactly.
Is it the role of the minister to do that? Or
because you are the supervisor.
Yes.
For example, we have a job here at this department. If you don't work well, what is the supervisor doing? Because the head boss will come to you and ask you, hey, your department is slacking off. So you as the supervisor are supposed to come to us and tell you, hey guys, wake up.
Yes.
What is in the intro of the new KMSF chairman, that is Vora, who was voted in the other day, JS Vora? Do you think he really needs to roll up his sleeves and make sure that Rally comes back?
He needs to do a lot, Tosken. It needs to, I think Rally has lost passion. The passion that we used to know that was Rally is not there. People nowadays, like I'm telling you, he needs to do a lot. He needs to, like my fellow colleague is saying here, let him go back to basics. Let him talk to people who were there before. They will give him a way to understand and how to bring back Rally where it's supposed to be. For now, I don't think that we are there. We are not there. He has a lot to do. He needs to start work, and I think he needs to start it now.
Remember, the Safari Rally was struck off the World Rally Championship calendar in 2002, where the world governing body FIA really highlighted issues like security organization, and they said that Kenya is the Kenyans could not organize a proper Safari Rally, and that they could not even raise the guarantees $2 million. Is Kenya such a poor country that we cannot raise $2 million to guarantee this commercial venture?
I think in my own assessment, Kenya is one of the richest countries. In Eastern Central Africa, I'll put it one of the toppest. In Africa, I would say we are rich. But the problem, Toskin, is when people now start thinking about their own stomachs and how they are going to buy suits and cars and new stuffs and houses, they forget about the common goal. That's what we're doing. I mean, what is $2 million? Oh, I mean, it's not a lot of money.
It's not a lot of money.
It's not a lot of money. So what happened back in the days that we can't do now? And what about just sensitizing it back, bringing it back to the people?
But it's a question of money. Remember when Safari Rally was Safari Rally, we had cigarette manufacturers, Marlboro sponsoring the whole thing. But when they pulled out, all that went down. KCB are now sponsoring. Do you think they have the muscle, or is it that we don't have companies that can come in and chip in with?
No, I think we have a lot of corporates that can come in and support Rally. Only the problem is, how do you approach them? The people in charge should now make up strategies on how they could approach these guys. We have so many guys. You don't tell me that like now Safaricom could not be interested in supporting Rally. They had. So what we need is to have these guys to put their structures proper, then things will move.
But also, what are the benefits of having Safari Rally in the WRC calendar?
Because it puts Kenya on the map. It brings us back where we are. You know, we're not supposed only to be known for great athletes. We're also supposed to be known for other things. Back in the days, Kenya was known for Safari Rally. When we go outside, you know, in any foreign land and talk about Safari Rally, they'll mention Patrick Njiru. When you talk about athletics, they'll say Kipchoge Keino. When you talk about football, they say Peter Dow. You know, we should go back to those mid-80s and early 90s. You know, and for me, what I'd like to also concur with my friend here, that when you talk about KCB, I think they have a personal gain there. They have a personal gain. But what makes other companies shy away from sponsoring these guys is because maybe you at the top, there's maybe issues of integrity, maybe issues of organization, structures and stuff like that.
But then
there's absolutely no way.
If the corporates are not coming in, but then as we make our closing remarks, don't you think the Kenya Tourism Board have a role in all this, because they want to market Kenya?
Of course
and
they do.
Safari Rally used to market Kenya.
But maybe
do you think they need to come in?
No, they do. That is why we are saying, like he's asking, have they been approached? But they need to, because this is in one way or another, it's a tourist attraction. Yeah. So they need to be approached, and let's see what comes out of it there. Get proposals and see how far they can move in as far as reviving the sport is concerned.
Just quickly, Andinga, in 2014, Kenya Motorsport Foundation said that they are setting 2017 as the deadline in which they want to be returned to the WRC. Do you see that happening now?
I don't see that happening. I remember I was in that press conference and we laughed, and my fellow journalist Gary Wahome, and we laughed about it, because these guys, the organization is not that serious. And what I think hurts sports in general in Kenya is just too much politics. Too much politics hurts sports in Kenya. Sometimes you just have to do things the right way. You just have to do the things the right way because it's the right thing to do. You don't have to politic about it. I think that kills sports in Kenya.
Mabuka, quickly, the race, the Kenya National Rally Championship is now run or staged in closed circuits. Do you think they need to get it out there so as to come to the public?
Yeah, that is why, you know, what is the benefit of what should Kenyans benefit from if this thing is
closed?
If it's closed, so they need to open up.
It doesn't endanger maybe the spectators?
Because even back in the days, it was something that was all open. When you hear about Patrick Njiru and it will run through Meru, all the Meru people came to support their own. So I think, especially with the kind of government that we have, it's a constitutional government where they believe in, we call it ugatuzi. You know, you can even talk to the counties to support it. You know, every county can say this rally will run through maybe 10 counties or 15, 20 counties. You can also chip in something, something in terms of marketing, put it out there in terms of media and everything. You know, especially now that we have these vernacular radio stations. When it gets to my area in Huisero, we can commentate it in Luhia. When it gets to Kisii, commentate it in Kisii. When it gets to your area, or Mike Gitonga's area, they can commentate it in Mike Gitonga's language.
And of course, don't forget that when we get those world beaters, those world rally drivers, when finally you have your kid, you'll name that kid after one of those drivers. Remember people like Vic Preston Jr., remember those? We have so many people who are kids, you know, named after such rally enthusiasts. And we've been discussing about the Kenya, the Safari Rally, especially in the Kenya National Rally Championship, that really the stature of Safari Rally has gone really down since they were, it was removed from the 2002 from the World Rally Championship calendar. Mike Gitonga, I don't know, how much do you follow Safari Rally in Kenya or rally in general?
Well, I used to really follow it back in the day when it was always in April. And we had this thing that we'd do where you'd make cars and we'd actually reenact our own Safari Rally, the days of Vic Preston Jr. and Kipchoge, what was his name? I forget his name. Yes, Patrick Njiru and the lot, but not quite right now, because it has also changed. I remember some few years ago when there was incidents of drunkenness, and you know, when guys go to actually watch, so it kind of took that away from the sport. But I think I'll reignite that fire. By the way, one of the things that I really wanted to do when I was younger is to become a rally driver, which explains the way I drive today. But anyway, that's a story. That's a story for another day. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. But I was wondering over the weekend, Robin, and a question one of my sons asked because he was watching this, and he asked me, what sport do you play? He actually asked me, what sport does Robin Toskin play? Oh, you still play football?
I played in the second division of the Kenyan football. I wasn't lucky enough to play in the Premier League because of so many other reasons, but then I'm a staunch footballer.
Okay, well, maybe a challenge to you, you should set up KTN FC.
We already have a team.
And see whether we can actually do something.
We need to sign you.
Yeah, maybe one of these days we'll have one of those, and I'm sure Bramwell, our director, will probably be goalkeeper. I'm not sure whether he'll be able to keep that goal, or he'll be a bigger hole in the goal than the actual goal itself. But anyway, that's a story for another day. This is where we're going to wind up Morning Express this morning. Thank you guys for sports chat, and thank you all for watching. But we'd like to say goodbye and wish you all a fantastic and a wonderful day. But do stay with us right here on KTN News. Worldview with Najma Ismail is coming up next. Do stay with us.